Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, call Allah Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Also, peace and blessings, salutations unto the hopefully elect, tabernacle of David, scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, diligently laboring in his truth and all righteousness and sincerity. So it's the brother Azariah back again with another lesson in the spirit of prophecy. Just wanting to touch on the Silicon Valley Bank failure, as you can see here in the title, is having worldwide repercussions. Now, we know that the elites just had a meeting at Davos a few months ago, and these are the things that were discussed. We see a whole lot of things going on, the trains derailing, certain infrastructure being set up in certain parts of the NATO and the EU as well as America that are being kept quiet. New forms of payment, such as the My ID that they've set up now in the town of East Palestine, Ohio, in which this first massive train derailment happened. So the devil has come down unto the people with great wrath. And we as the men of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, starting with our elders and apostles on down, we've been prophesying of these things for quite some time. And the end is manifest. All right, you can see exactly what when you see things like this, the scriptures really come alive and you can't really deny it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have people out here that are saying, still denying the scriptures, man. But what do you see when you look outside? What do you see when you look on the news? Even if it's not the mainstream news, independent media, even down to the brothers that do these lessons and bring out the information. You're seeing a constant theme of what? A great reset, in which Klaus Schwab, the head of the WEF, for years and years, especially since 2020, they've kicked this thing into full gear, but now you're really starting to see them go full force with it because, of course, they understand, just like we understand, that they have a very short time left. All right, hey, listen, if you think that Esau is not aware of his impending doom, then you're sadly mistaken. All right, because this man, just like we bring it out, Esau is listening to us, and he's also paying attention. He's also very aware of the shot clock. All right, and his time to take a shot is like 1.5 seconds, man. So, hey, he gotta make a play happen, so to speak, But yeah, dealing with this bank failure, we know that the coming system in which they want to reset, they want to do away with paper, physical money and move on to a completely digital system in which everything is tracked on the grid. All right, just like your man Klaus Schwab said, in the Great Reset, you will own nothing and be happy. What are the main things that they're putting in place right now? People are not being allowed to own cars. That's why the cost of a used car now is almost double what it was pre-pandemic. Housing is unaffordable now. Mortgage rates are through the roof. All right. Inflation is going crazy. People can barely afford groceries, man. People are getting laid off of jobs. So what position is that going to leave people in? It's going to leave people in a position in which they have to fully depend on the government, on the powers that be. All right. So this bank collapse, what do you think is going to happen when, because this is just one bank, this is just a little test run that Esau's doing. But what's going to happen when your local bank, when you want to go to the bank and take out some money, and you go in there and they tell you, sorry, that there's nothing we can do. The whole system is down. But what we can do for you is we can give you universal basic income. We can give you subsidies. All right, we can give you certain things in which we can in which you can still have your quality of life, but you're gonna have to basically give up your freedom. Basically sell your soul to the beast in order to operate in this system still. If you're in the spirit, you can very well see where this is going. And this all goes into Revelation 13 and 16 on down, in which it says he will cause all, rich and poor, free and bond, to take a mark in their right hand, in their right hand, excuse me, or their forehead. And of course, the brothers of Great Millstone and those who teach the same likewise doctrine, we teach that the MOTB is the RFID micro CHIP, the implantable chip, which will either go in your brain or in your right hand. All right. That's what we teach that it is. And, it's plain to see. I did a video not too long ago with Klaus Schwab coming out and saying that in the future, everyone will be chipped. And he was talking to this big audience. I'm saying? He was doing like this big public forum and he was speaking and, he was basically speaking to everybody in the room. In a few years, you will all have a chip. You see? So they know what the end goal is. And we also know. See, this is why we can say with confidence what the MOTB is, because we study these devils, man. Okay. And now it's not even like you really have to do that much in-depth research into what they're doing. Like, they openly coming out now and telling you what it is. Before you had to read, get certain articles and, read certain books, man. But now it's like, yo, they just coming out and telling you this is what we're going to do. And by this time, we're going to have it done. Just like Elon Musk with the Neuralink brain chip. He said last year around November, September, that within 6 months, it's going to be ready to be unveiled to the public. You see, so everything right now, prophecy is speeding up. And ultimately, when these things come upon the earth, those that were not prepared in the spirit and even carnally to a degree, they're going to seek to go down to Egypt for help, because they're not going to have no other option to be stable. But the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that we have through the scriptures, through Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, that's going to make us stable in that time. See, we're not going to be bugging out when everyone else is. We're going to have a different spirit to us, in which we're going to be calm, we're going to be stable, and we're going to trust in the Lord that he's going to provide and take care of us as he's already doing. Understand? So, but the main point of why I wanted to bring this out is because this is a repeat, you see, because when you go back to one of the worst, well, probably the worst economic disaster that happened within the past 100 years, being the Great Depression, these were the same conditions that led people to give more power unto the government. See, and this is really what Esau wants. See, he wants to leave you in a position to where you can't do for yourself. You see, to where you can't have any other life outside of him. This is why during the beginning of the pandemic, when people wanted to go buy seeds and make their own gardens because the supply chain was messed up, they started taking away the seeds, or the seeds that they did give you, they were GMO seeds. It wasn't, non-GMO seeds. See, so this devil, he wants you, his desire is for you to bow down to the image of Baal. And he's going to do that by force, okay, by coercion. All right. He's going to make your life so hard to the point where you're not going to have the will to fight. You're not going to have the will to resist. You're just going to give in and do what he wants you to do. So this article going into it, it says it was called Silicon Valley Bank, but its collapse is causing shockwaves around the world. From winemakers in California to startups across the Atlantic Ocean, companies are scrambling to figure out how to manage their finances after their bank suddenly shut down Friday. The meltdown means distress not only for businesses, but also for all their workers whose paychecks may get tied up in the chaos. Silicon Valley Bank failed Slovakia, largely because of its links to the tech industry, because tech is getting nailed by all the rise in interest rates and changes in consumer preferences, said Mark Zandi, chief economist for Moody's Analytics. All right, and once again, this is the secret counsel of the wicked now out in the open. You see, the devil, see, the scriptures tell you that the serpent was the most subtle beast of all the creatures upon the earth, meaning that if he wants to do something, he's just not going to do it in a way that's obvious. See, he's going to be very crafty with the way that he move. See, so this is Esau. See, because Esau comes in the same spirit as Satan, right? Even he who's coming is after the working of Satan, as the scriptures say, and that's Esau Edom, all right, the man of sin. So he's going about, see, because his end goal is to establish an NWO. But how is he going to do it? How is he going to get there? Because in America, you have what? A constitution that affords the people certain rights, all right? That, you can't just do away with that, but you have to find a way around it. See? That's what they're doing to the people. They're literally finding a way around the Constitution. And also, they're passing executive orders behind closed doors quietly also. So it's just a whole bunch of wickedness. Is really just a whole bunch of wickedness that's going on in total. But all the things that you're seeing, the rise in interest rates, the changes in consumer preferences, closing down Walmarts, laying people off of their jobs, is to do what? To make your life harder. So you have to depend more upon the beast, to give your life over unto the beast. See? And that's the same thing that happened in the Great Depression, as we're going to get in a few. So California Governor Gavin Newsom said Saturday that he's talking with the White House to help stabilize the situation as quickly as possible to protect jobs, people's livelihoods, and the entire innovation ecosystem that has served as a tentpole for our economy. Now, it's ironic that he said this because California has one of the largest homeless populations in the United States, right? But here it is, Gavin Newsom, which is a depraved devil, all right? He's talking about we need to stabilize to protect jobs and people lives. Man, these people don't give a damn about your job or your livelihood, man. They don't care about you. All these things are to further the agenda of these elites. See, all these politicians and governors and mayors, man, all of these people are paid off. And the very few that do have a sincere heart to want to help the people, they very quickly find out once they get into that position that either they got to play ball or they're going to be in a position in which they're pretty much forced to institute the will of the elites, man. You see? So yeah, they may go in there wanting to really help the people and want to do something, but then they get fought down. Certain things that they want to put through, it just doesn't go because ultimately it's way bigger than them at the end of the day. All right. U.S. customers with less than $250,000 in the bank can count on insurance provided by the Federal Deposit Insurance Corp. Regulators are trying to find a buyer for the bank in hopes customers with more than that can be made whole. And customers with less than 200, that's the majority of Americans. All right, if you got 250 plus thousand in the bank, then you're in the top 5% of earners within the United States. All right, so majority of people, they're making way less than that. It says that includes customers like Circle, a big player in the cryptocurrency industry. And the crypto, that's another thing that these devils have been pushing as well for the past few years. See, because like I mentioned earlier, they want to do away with the physical money and put you on a digital dollar, a crypto. Okay, so the crypto, that's going to be in a form of a CDBC, a central bank digital currency, in which once this system is put in place, you're going to have a CDBC account, right? Then you're going to get the chip, and all your information is going to be on that chip. All right. I just posted a video the other day in which Australia, they're the second nation after what country was that? They're the second country after, I believe it was Canada, to institute a digital ID pass. Okay, in which they're literally saying that, listen, unless you sign up with this ID pass, you're pretty much going to be shut out from society over there in Australia. See? So this system is moving towards uh this is Devil Biden, man. See? Yeah, but this system is moving towards a completely digital technocracy. All right, because these devils are going to be able to better track you every move that you make once you're on that digital system. Right now, they can't track everybody like that because they're not inside of you. They're not under your skin, but they want to be under your skin, man. All right. Noah Yuval Harari, Klaus Schwab, they want to be under your skin to monitor you at all times. They want to be like the Most High. They want to be omnipotent and omnipresent everywhere at once, monitoring all things. See? So yeah, this is a major thing, and mainstream media really isn't talking about this. You know what I'm saying? Like how is it that this is having worldwide repercussions, but the mainstream media isn't talking about this? You know why? Because if people know with the amount of things that people are seeing within the earth, people are gonna know that wait a minute, if this bank failed, then what about my bank? They understand that this could potentially cause people to wake up and cause panic and take their money out of the banks. See? Which eventually, man, all these banks are gonna collapse. See? All these banks are gonna collapse, man. So there's really no stopping it. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, the men of the Lord, the men of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and the few sisters as well, you see, we understand that we already gave our life in this world up. You see, so these things are gonna happen regardless. But we are of the mindset of, hey, it is what it is. We understand there's gonna come a time where we're gonna have to lose. But at the end of the day, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, we trust in him, and we understand that, he's not gonna give us a burden more than we can bear. And ultimately that we already have the victory. We already won. We just gotta endure to the end, as the scriptures say, so that we can achieve that salvation. So let me go here. Now this is from Heritage Newfoundland and Labrador. So this is an article going into the aftermath of what happened during the Great Depression, because you see, just understanding the landscape of the earth, but especially the Western world, America in general. Before the Great Depression, people were more self-dependent. People lived off the land more. The government didn't really have too much power over the general affairs of the citizen unless you lived in the big cities. But even then, things were still kind of relatively free. You see, it wasn't until the banks collapsed and the economy, collapsed as well, and people lost their jobs. People couldn't afford food for their families. Hey, look, during the Great Depression, you even had rich people going to soup kitchens to just to get by. You see? So what shift happened? That was the great reset of that time, which was the 1920s and the 1930s. See, that didn't get flipped until World War II came around. And the crazy thing about it is America's going to war very soon as well. You know, it's not like America's going to bounce back after the war. See, this is what's happening now is deliberate. But when these wars do come, that's just going to mark the end of America. See, because this is the last generation. This is the last hour for Esau to rule. So once World War III breaks out, Yahweh Shai and the host of heaven are going to come in the midst of that and put all this down. You see, but the point I'm making is there was a great reset 100 years ago, and there's going to be a great reset now. Understand? But ultimately, what happened with the first one, the people became more reliant upon the system. As we're going to read, more government subsidies were introduced, welfare, food stamps, housing opportunities for the poor. So what happened? In a situation of crisis and general poor living for majority of the population, the government came in and said, we can help you, right? We're going to give you a social security number. Okay, so now we understand that you're a part of the system to receive these benefits. Right before that, man, people wasn't having those social security numbers. See, all this didn't come about until the Great Depression era. You know, a lot of people don't know that, but going into it, it says government response to the Great Depression. The outbreak of the Great Depression in the fall of 1929 caused much economic hardship in Newfoundland and Labrador. Most damaging was a breakdown in world trade, which caused the country's revenue to plummet. Despite its shrinking income, the government still had to make interest payments on a sizable national debt and provide essential services to the public. Widespread unemployment during the 1930s exacerbated an already difficult situation by forcing the government to spend millions of dollars on various relief programs. And we're seeing the same thing now. Okay, people getting laid off. See, or people just are, overall quitting because the money that they're making at these jobs is just not, paying the bill. So it's like, what's the point? You see? But it led to what? The government to spend millions of dollars on various relief programs. See, so like I mentioned earlier, all the relief programs you see, SNAP, WIC, Social Security benefits, and things of that manner, Section 8, all that came about during the period of the Great Depression. Okay, these things did not exist before that time. So before, people were more dependent on themselves and what they could make do for them and their families. After, people gave more power unto the beast. Understand? It says most, however, were ineffective. Dole rations, for example, were heavily policed and much too small to live on. It says at the same time the government increased relief spending, it also contributed to the crisis by laying off employees and making cuts to healthcare, education, and other social programs. See that? What have we been talking about? Okay, mass job layoffs, man. Okay, they just cut the food stamps. All right, so if you was getting 200 in food stamps because of the CV Emergency Relief Fund, now the stamps that you're getting is being cut down to $25 a month, depending on the size of your family. See, healthcare is also being cut, education, and other social programs. See, so the same thing. Okay, the same agenda. When allegations of corruption surfaced against high-ranking political officials in 1932, it intensified the public's mounting dissatisfaction with party politics and led to the swearing in of the Commission of Government in 1934. So what's the theme that we're seeing here? Okay, the elites create the chaos, they create the hostile environment, then they bring in their solution to deal with what they cause, because this is all an agenda. For the most part, however, the new regime proved equally incapable of improving the Depression's impacts on the working class and on the country as a whole. It was not until the employment boom of the Second World War that the country recovered. See that? Now let me jump down here because there's some other good information in here as well. All right, so it says the government responded to the crisis by borrowing more money from abroad. Just like the U.S. is in crazy debt with China, right? Borrowing money from abroad, but yet they can send all this money to Ukraine that they don't have. See, that's why China is pretty much fed up with America, man, because they just keep borrowing money and they're not paying it back. You know, and that's just one reason. You know what I'm saying? There's many more reasons. You know what I mean? Like they're literally funding a war in Ukraine, which is against their ally of Russia. Then they trying to go into Taiwan and take over Taiwan. So it's just a whole lot going on between America and China. But nevertheless, it's the same thing. Borrowing money. All right. Britain and Canada worried that it would reflect badly on the empire if Newfoundland and Labrador failed to meet its interest payments and agreed to lend the government money in return for a number of concessions. One was the appointment of a financial advisor to help organize the country's finances. Sir Percy Thompson, deputy chairman of the Board of Inland Revenue, filled this position in August 1931. At around the same time, the Newfoundland and Labrador government appointed Montreal businessman Robert J. Major to investigate various government departments and reduce spending wherever possible. At the same time, it introduced new taxes that increased the cost of living by approximately 30%. You see? And they doing the same thing now. Okay, introducing higher interest rates. Okay, increasing inflation, increasing the cost of food, gas, housing, clothing, everything that's pretty much essential for you to have a normal, decent, standard quality of life. Okay? The government also slashed spending on health and education, but doubled its police force in 1932 to better maintain law and order amid a growing atmosphere of public unrest. So see, man, you can't make this up. Okay? You can't make this up. Now, if these devils had this in line 100 years ago, what do you think that they're doing now? Because, like I said, man, this was the Great Reset of that time. We coming into the same thing again. Matter of fact, we already in it. Okay, this reset is about to be completed. That's why you're seeing the things that you're seeing right now. This is why you're living the life that you're living. Okay? Perhaps most frustrating to the country's unemployed, however, were Magore's efforts to reduce public relief payments, widely known as the dole. Okay, now we would call it food stamps or unemployment, but back then it was called dole. All right. So, yeah, man, basically what happened after that, the government was changed, more power was given to the American government over the people. You know what I'm saying? And the people willingly gave it to them because life was so hard. So who else were they going to turn to? Understand? So this is the hour of temptation that's coming upon the earth. And the man that's in rulership right now, this is all his plan, the plan of the wicked Esau Edom. Okay? You gotta understand, man, that Esau is a greedy bastard. You see, because he already has everything. He already has full control over all the resources of the planet Earth. You see, he has more than what his heart could desire. But you see, his desire is to be like the Most High. See, he wants to be in your brain and under your skin. This is what this man wants. All right. So let's go here first to Habakkuk 2:5, classic scripture. Habakkuk 2:5. Yea, also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man. Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. See? So this is the man of sin. Who else is this talking about? It's talking about Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Okay? He transgressed by wine, and his wine represent his philosophies, his way of life, the way that he think, the way that he move. Okay, this is his wine, and he's corrupted the whole earth with his wine. See, he is a proud man, the proudest man upon the face of the planet Earth, man. All right. Neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell. See, so instead of just being in the cave, okay, or instead of just sticking to Europe, which that's not his original habitation either. Really, Esau belongs in Mount Seir, but he didn't keep there. See, he went up out of Mount Seir, and because he gained the blessing, you know, and he lived by the sword. He went around the earth conquering the indigenous nations of the earth. He neither keepeth at home. This man has a military base in pretty much every nation around the planet Earth, except for a few. See, so this man is all up in everybody's business, everybody else's affairs. He does not keep at home. Who enlarge his desire as hell. His desire is to make the earth as a living hell, which he has succeeded in doing so with flying colors. See, your life is a living hell because of Esau, Edom. All right, people can't eat. People can't even enjoy the simple pleasures of life because why? The earth has been enlarged as hell and is as death. Okay, everywhere this man goes, death follows him. All right, there was no such thing as ocean pollution until Esau got himself set up, man. Okay, there was no such thing as animals going extinct. There was no such thing as a hole in the ozone layer. Okay, before Esau came into power, these things they did not exist. So he is as death. Everywhere he goes, death follows him. Okay, cancer, yeah, chemical bronchitis. See, eating GMO foods, man, spraying chemtrails in the air. He is as death and cannot be satisfied. That's the point. He cannot be satisfied. No matter how much that he has, no matter how much. Listen, man, Esau is just literally conquered every nation upon the planet Earth. And you mean to tell me that you're not satisfied? You have so much money to the point where you can't even count it. But you're not satisfied with that. You want to keep robbing and spoiling nations that, for, the little that they do have when you already got it. But gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. Now, how does he do this? By the way of America, by the way of NATO and the EU, the European Union. Okay? America is known as the great melting pot in which you can find every nationality of people in one nation. Okay, you don't find that nowhere else upon the earth outside of the so-called Western world. All right, which is Esau's dominion. See, so this is why it's important in the scriptures to study it and know who's who and who's doing what. Because if you don't understand that Esau, Edom is the man that's in power, then these prophecies, these scriptures are not going to make sense because you're not going to understand who this is talking about. Okay, you're not going to understand that this very thing is happening today. And it's all the secret counsel, now the open counsel of the wicked. All right, known as Esau, Edom. Let's go to Isaiah 31. Isaiah 31. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help, and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. But they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. Now, this is what's going to happen once this great reset is fully realized. Okay, this is what's going to happen when society collapses, when there's no more food in the supermarkets. Okay, going to 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. When the full storehouses shall be found empty, right? When you lose your job, when you lose your house, when everyone around you is hostile because they don't have no comfort, they just impulsive and ready to act, man. Okay, 2nd Ezra 15 and 16, man. People going around with the sword, spoiling each other's houses and goods for the lack of bread and great tribulation. Okay, out of these conditions, people are going to seek a solution. But what does it say here? They look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek the Lord. And this especially applies to our people, the 12 tribes, man, because our people, by and large, do not look unto the Holy One of Israel. They don't seek Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So you know what they're going to do? They're going to go down to Egypt for help. They're going to go to Esau. All right? This is modern day Egypt. All right? Modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, Babylon. All right? All rolled into one, man. You see? So our people are going to go down to Egypt and look for help, which entails what? The MOTB. Okay, being a part of the beast system, bowing down to the image of Baal, to the image of the beast, so that you can be taken care of, so that you can have a peace of mind. But that peace of mind ain't going to come from the Most High. It's going to come from the devil. So if you take this man's mark, as the scriptures say, you're going to receive a grievous sore, and ultimately the Lord is going to destroy you with the host of heaven when he returns. See, that's your ultimate end if you go ahead and go down to Egypt and seek help from the modern day Pharaoh, which is Esau Edom. All right. His chariots are many, and the horsemen, they are very strong. See, so Esau in that day, he's going to appear And as he appears right now as strong, you see, people are gonna look to him like, oh well, this man has the power to make our problems go away. This man has the power to feed us, to clothe us, to clothe us. And this all goes into the moniker of you shall own nothing and be happy. See, there's gonna come a point that this devil, you see, he wants to put so much hell on you to the point where you're gonna be happy to own nothing. See, you're gonna be happy to be on universal basic income. You're gonna be happy to not own a house and have the government give you a place to live. You're gonna be happy because when you can't afford your house no more, when you can't afford food and somebody can just give it to you, who wouldn't be happy? It's like, damn, I don't have to work. I don't got to do nothing. All I got to do is get on, bow down to the beast, and I can be taken care of. Well, hey, shit, what could be better than that? That's gonna be the mindset of majority of the people upon the planet Earth. You see, but only the hopefully elect of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai are not going to comply with the beast, are not going to comply with bowing down to the image of Baal. See, the true believers of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, they're going to endure ridicule, imprisonment, and even death if it comes to that. See, because we understand that this man is at his end and that his kingdom is finished. So there's nothing to really hold on to, man. This place is as a vapor that's just passing away. And we are as pilgrims in this place. So, yeah, these are the parallels. Okay, just like the banks crashed back in 1929 and led to the Great Depression and eventually World War III, Salakia, or World War II, I meant to say. The same thing is going to happen now. Okay, they're going to close the banks. Okay, there's going to be a major power outage and attack on the power grid. All right, people are going to continue to lose jobs. Inflation is going to continue to increase. You see, until the point where, as we just read in Isaiah 31, people are going to go down to Egypt and seek help. All right, and they're going to give their life over unto the beast in order to have that substance and that comfort. Understand? So I'm going to go ahead and end it right there. Hopefully that lesson was edifying through the Rakah Kadash and closing call Halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua by Hashem Rakah Kadash. And until next time, Shalom to the elect. Come Yasha'ala DTA and the Bible Ball. Shalom.